Hey church, welcome to day 2, week 1 of our just devotional, just some great devotional thoughts that will just stir your faith for the day. I want to read out of Psalm 59, verse 14 to 17. It says, "They return at the evening snarling like dogs and prowl about the city. They wander about for food and howl if not satisfied. But I will sing of your strength, and in the morning I will sing of your love. For you are my fortress, my refuge in times of trouble. You are my strength, and I will sing praise to you. You, God, are my fortress, my God, on whom I can rely." You know, what a strange verse for a morning devotion. They snarl like dogs. What a great thought around, your cup of coffee or maybe your breakfast today. But what the psalmist is saying here is that he gives us a picture of outside chaos and outside noise versus melodies of songs of peace and joy on the inside. And the point that the psalmist is basically saying is this, that in reality, there may be chaos on the outside. There may be dissatisfaction and snarling and angst and challenges. But on the inside, he's made a decision to sing praises to God. And he has put himself away from the noise, away from the stuff that is going on. And you know what? There are issues and there are problems and there is a whole bunch of stuff that is going on. You think about it in the world tonight. There's a lot of snarling going on right now. We should be doing enough. We're not doing enough with all this stuff that is going on. There's a lot of opinion, a lot of snarling, a lot of angst, a lot of anger. But David here has a different agenda. He has a different song. And it's interesting that he says, "I will sing." In other words, he says, I'm not going to be confused or distracted by the noise that is around me. But inside my own heart, inside my own home, I'm going to sing a song to God. I'm going to declare the thankfulness that I have to all the great things that God has done over my life. I love this because it speaks about a decision of the will to give praise to God. It's a decision of the will to say, you know what? I'm not going to get distracted. I'm not going to lose focus. I'm not going to allow outside anxiety to come into my home. I'm going to make a decision what the sound and what the melody of my home actually sounds like. One of my favorite Psalms is in Psalm 74, verse 4. And it's talking about noise. And the psalmist says this, "Your foes roared in the place where you met with us. They set up their standards as signs, and they behaved like men wielding axes to cut through a thicket of trees." This whole psalm is about the enemy coming in and invading Israel and invading the temple and now starting to take away those things that were precious to the Israelites. But there's this picture here of the enemy roaring in the place where these people met with God. In your daily devotion, in your time with God, in your home, the enemy wants to roar in that place. He wants to disturb you in that place. He wants to cause fear and anxiety in that place. But you know what? That place that you have with God, you got to protect that place, that peace in your home, the commitment of the songs that you'll sing as a family, the positive words that you'll speak into your home. You have to protect that. David talks about, says, "Your word I've hidden deep in my heart." We've got to protect the things that God has given us, our faith, the encouraging words, the promises of God. We can't allow the enemy to roar in those places and just disrupt, the faith that God has given us. Think about, this morning about the boundaries of your life. Have you allowed the outside snarling to come in and maybe rob you of peace? Maybe it's time this morning just to sit back and reflect and say, you know what, God? You've given me everything in your word to live a life of joy, peace, and comfort, even in difficult and strenuous times. And I'm going to go back to your word and I'm going to hold on to what you say to me, not what the world actually says. We'll see you tomorrow.